I have had the pleasure of using the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold for a few days now, and here are some of my initial impressions. So first of all, we'll start off with the name. It does sound like a mouthful and a really confusing name, but at the same time, it is also logical in the sense that it lines up with the new Google Pixel 9 lineup. So you want the small base Google Pixel 9, it is just called the Google Pixel 9. If you want the same exact size but a Pro version, then you got the Google Pixel 9 Pro. If you want a Pro big version, then you get the XL. And if you want a Pro version that fold, this is the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. So from that standpoint, it makes sense. Last year, they just called it the Pixel Fold. Logically, the Fold 2 would have made more sense. Maybe Google didn't want such a low number compared to Samsung. They are already on the Z Fold 6, so that could be one of the reasons why they chose to change the name. And I think they want the Fold to feel premium as well, so that's why they want the Pro to be in the name. Last year when the Fold came out at around July or August, and then a few months later in October, the Google Pixel 8 came out with a brand new chip. So it already made the Google Pixel Fold outdated. So it seems like Google kind of just rushed it out the door just to have it out there. But at the same time, it was already immediately overshadowed by the brand new Pixel a couple months later. So this year, in order to avoid that problem, they decided to combine it all together in one single announcement. And I just realized I've been recording the beginning of this video without a mic. So I will plug in my mic and resume recording this video. Mic is plugged in. Then I know, based on my prior experience in the past of using a Google Pixel phone, I would need to go into the settings and change the setting in order to even use the mic. Slightly annoying, but I gotta stop the video and do a new video since I'm already in the middle of recording. It's not gonna let me change the mic midway through. So I want to give a quick shout out to my partner Mint Mobile. Currently they offer 5G plan for as low as $15 a month. You get unlimited internet, texting, and calling. It is a limited time offer. You do have to purchase 3 months up front, but it is a great deal, so make sure to check it out. Link in the description below. Okay, so we are back. We got the wired mic. I messed up my angle a little bit there. I'm also recording using the Google Pixel Fold, and I have it mounted on my desk, and it's really awkward doing so because I want to be able to preview myself. So I'm using a selfie camera, but at the same time, that's not the best camera. You want the best camera, it is the main camera. But in order to do that, you got to flip your phone around, then I can't see what I'm recording. They do have the option to do a preview on the outer screen, but that's only for taking pictures. For whatever reason, they don't let you preview when recording video. Even taking pictures is kind of awkward. You got to open up the phone in a tablet mode, and I guess if you want to take a selfie of your friends, they can like preview themselves using the best camera. It's still awkward taking a picture with a tablet nonetheless. I'll go into more detail later when I talk about the camera. I'm probably going to still call it the Google Pixel Fold 2. I'm not going to remember the Pixel 9 Pro Fold naming convention. Alright, so next category is price. It is priced at $1,800. This phone's really for the Pixel enthusiasts. If you really want a folding phone and you hate Samsung One UI, you don't want to deal with OnePlus, and you just want stock Android at its purest form, then get the Google Pixel Fold. And it's meant for people with a lot of money. $1,800 is a lot for a phone. And I barely even want to spend $1,000 for a phone. Never mind spending close to $2,000 after taxes. The Fold 6 this year is priced even higher at $1,900, which is a $100 increase compared to last year. But you know, with all these phones, if you really want a folding phone, either buy the one from the year prior or just wait a few months after release. Because right now in September 2024, you can go on Amazon and get the Fold 6 for $1,600. That is the Samsung Fold 6. So you wait long enough, a lot of things will go on sale. Android phone always go on sales. Never buy Android phone at full prices. So with the Pixel Fold 2, using the same logic, if you just wait 2 months later, close enough to the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, I can easily see this phone being priced at $1,500 or less. It is still at the midway point, but I'd rather pay $1,500 than close to $2,000. And unless you have some good, amazing trade-in deals, you can take advantage of that. But I wouldn't pay full price for this phone. Color-wise, a lot of time these premium pro phone, the more premium and expensive it is, the less color option you get. Basically, all you get is white and black. I don't care what crazy naming convention they call it, obsidian or whatever. I'm just gonna call it black and white. Initially, I wanted to get the white color because last year I had black, but unfortunately, at the time when I ordered this, the white was out of stock, so I had to settle for the black. And here I am. Not the end of the world, first world problems, but I would have preferred to have a white color just so it would be something new. Because the Google Pixel 7 had a black color. 7a, I use the black color as well. It just gets boring after a while. I feel like I gotta switch it up. These years the phones don't really change that much, so the color is really all you really have to look forward to these days. And with these super expensive $1,800 Google Pixel Pro Fold, and I believe any of the Pro lineup, Google is throwing in Gemini Advanced, whatever that is. They're kind of repackaging the Google Drive, Google membership, whatever they call it, Google Storage. So with the Gemini Advanced, you get 2 terabyte of data, which is about $240 of value. So that's probably the biggest benefits I see there. Previously, I only pay for storage for photos just because these things add up. I record videos, I take a lot of pictures, and Gmail, everything's all linked to Google. In a sense, it's nice that everything's all connected until you realize they only give you 15 gig and everything else is relying on that. And the memory does eat up quickly, especially with the cameras getting better, the files are getting larger. So unfortunately, I did not want to pay for storage, but finally had to give in. So now they're bundling it all as a part of Gemini Advance. On top of that, you also get all these cool AI tricks. Whether or not you use them, I don't know, it's kind of up to you. But essentially, you get access to larger AI library if you like creating random pictures using prompt. I don't know, for example, a dog wearing a cowboy hat in space. If you find it to be useful for whatever reason, by all means, do you. Is it cool? Yes. Is it useful? I don't think it is. But there are some useful AI tools out there. For example, I'm recording this video. I took all my notes prior using Google Docs, and then I actually launched Gemini in order to organize my notes. So it kind of helped me organize everything there. But at the same time, as I'm recording a video, I just went back to my original notes anyways. So it's nice to see everything in a good format that's easy to read, but at the same time, I'm used to what I wrote originally, the format, the thought process. And, you know, each year over the last few years with these phone hardware is not really changing that much. You're going to get a newer chip on paper. But a lot of the cool tricks you're going to see is the software updates. That's why they are promising 7 years of software updates, which I think is an amazing change. They started that last year with the Google Pixel 8. Samsung immediately followed with the S24. And it's nice to see that is a trend that is staying for now. And yeah, we'll see what kind of cool tricks they keep building on. Circle to search is fine. You can press the hold button and search whatever is on the screen. Back in the day, they used to call that Google on tap or tap to search or whatever, tap to hold. And so back then, it essentially just took a screenshot of whatever's on your screen and then it will search that image. You can do the same thing today using Google Lens. So it's kind of the same idea, but instead of taking a screenshot, pressing the lens button, now you can just press the home button and then it will activate the circle to search, and then you can literally just circle whatever item you want to search. If you want to search the whole screen using the lens option, that's fine too. Then just circle the whole screen. It's a little gimmicky. Is it somewhat cool? Yes. Have I used it here and there? If I need to grab a text or something, I feel like that's the reason I use it the most. If I need to search for a location or someone sends me a screenshot of a text, it's nice to be able to extract text, and I find that to be the most useful thing. I never really see a random furniture or shoe, clothing that I took a picture at some point and then all of a sudden I want to Google search it, use an image, and then buy it. That is not how I buy things, and that is never going to be the way I use circle to search. So the idea is nice. They got all these AI tools built in. I mean, even on your computer, Gmail, they have like email summary. You can't really go anywhere these days without seeing AI anywhere. So that's essentially the whole Gemini package. Is Google trying to push AI. For now, it's free. In the future, it might not be free. Trying to make a case for it by bundling it in with the storage, and then maybe give you a cool trick here and there that you can try out first. My understanding of that is you are basically volunteering to be the beta tester. A lot of, for example, some of the recent features that they announced over the last few years, like the recording function. It lets you label the speaker. That feature wasn't available at launch, but a few months later it is available. So little things like that they are testing. Maybe you can be the first to use it. And even on my phone, Google Keep, I like the ability to make notes and generate lists. You can just type in a list using AI prompt, make me a grocery list, make me a checklist of things to buy going to camp. It will generate all the things on there. So it's nice to have like good. It's good for a starting point. So there are some benefits to AI, and that is an example of that. And I use AI as well just to write emails, thank you letters if I'm applying for a job. You use like even LinkedIn got their own AI tools, so you can like edit your resume, tweak things, switch out words using thesaurus, make it sound better. So things that takes a lot of time and effort to write and required a lot of effort before. Now you can just do it with a couple touch and then add your finishing touch to it as well. So there's all the AI tools you have. Nothing that I find to be really useful. They introduced this new feature where you can take a picture. If you want to be in the picture, you can swap it out your friend. It sounds super annoying to do. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to convince any of my friends to do this, and it's a lot of work. You're just better off taking a selfie, even though the quality is not as good, but it's quick, it's fast, it gets straight to the point, versus you trying to take a picture and then have your friend come out and then you go in and then have them take the picture, then they merge the picture together so make it looks like everybody's in the frame at the same time. I don't even feel motivated to even test out this feature. It sounds annoying already as is. So and it seems like it might be slow as well. So it's something that is a new tool that sounds nice on paper, but I don't think it's gonna be something that I use. So another thing I noticed this year with this phone, the weight is significantly lighter, 256 gram compared to 283 gram last year. That phone last year felt like a giant brick in the hand. This year it feels like a lighter brick. The Z Fold 6 comes in at 239 gram along with the OnePlus Open. So and then I'm not even going to talk about Huawei or some of those other phone that are able to achieve even lighter and thinner weight. So the more lighter and thinner they can get it, I think the better. This year, the Fold 2 is actually pretty thin. If you hold it against my Galaxy S20 with a case on, folded up, it's roughly the same size. So they did an amazing job there. They could shave a few more grams off. That would have been nice, but it's fine to use. It's not uncomfortable as it is last year. Still slightly uncomfortable to use it for long periods of time. Small minimal improvement there just in terms of aesthetic changes. Screen size, it is larger on the inside. You get an 8-inch screen compared to 7.6 last year. I mean, I'm using day-to-day basis. I don't really notice that much of a difference. Some apps, they don't even take up the whole screen. YouTube, you probably get about, 80% of the screen. So technically you have a bigger screen, but not all apps take advantage of the whole screen. Even Pokemon trading card game, I have a lot of issue with just the apps being optimized with the phone itself. For example, I have it open in a large screen. Sometimes the areas are cropped off. I can't even see the sides and missing some of the stats and key information that I need to play the game. And then if I close up the phone in the middle of playing the game, then the game's going to restart. Or if I start off the game playing on the outer screen and I want to open it up to inner screen, the game is going to restart. So there's no app continuation there, and that's really annoying and definitely a downside of using a folding phone. You would think by now things can be continuous, whether I wanted to use a small screen or a big screen. I wish they find a way just to make it all smooth, but unfortunately it's not the case. Usually when you close up your phone, that means it's shutting off the app, and that's the way it's set up at this point. And another change that you're going to see this year is the outer display is a 6.3 inches compared to the 5.8 last year. I actually prefer the 5.8 last year because it was a nice blend of being a tiny phone and it opens into a large tablet. So it's really it's definitely a breath of fresh air. These days, all the flagship phone, the smallest size is 6 inch, 6.1, 6.3, but that's not really considered small. Back in the days, even a few years ago, the Galaxy Note series, like they were clocking in at like 6.3, 6.2 inches. And back then, the Note were considered the biggest phones in the world. Nowadays, they're just considered the base model. So just to keep things into perspective, a 6.3 inch is pretty large. If you use the phone, your fingers, your thumb naturally go around like half the screen. If you want to reach the top of the screen, then you really gotta do some finger gymnastic, glide your fingers up and down in order to reach the top, whether it is to access, turn off Wi-Fi. There's a lot of work involved. So I'm a little sad that they moved to a slightly larger screen on the outside. I wish they kept the passport design and the smaller form factor. That made it really unique. But now it's kind of the same as any of the other folding phones. Samsung OnePlus Open 6.3 inch is fine. I guess it's usable. It feels like a normal phone. In the early days of the Samsung foldable, they made it super thin in the front, which is super annoying to use. But these days, Samsung did make it bigger, so it's more somewhat user friendly from that standpoint. You don't have to feel obligated to open it up every single time. And this phone is kind of keeps the same trend as last year. Like I can use it as a normal phone if I wanted to. If I need the big screen, I'll open it up. And it doesn't feel like I'm sacrificing anything by using the outer screen. I get the same experience inside and out, minus some of the apps not really optimized for the larger screen. Those are just some of my initial thoughts. It really doesn't feel that much difference from the Fold 1 to the Fold 2 for the Google Pixel. I mean, it's slightly lighter, bigger phone, but when I use it on a day-to-day basis, I don't feel like a drastic change compared to last year. And with all folding phone in general, like I like the idea of being able to have it as a tripod and set up the phone. You can record anywhere you want, but it gets really awkward because I think that feature is a better fit for the Flip series where you can use the main camera and then you can preview yourself. On folding phone, you're not able to do that. So right now I'm recording this video using a selfie camera and I actually have to prop it up onto my computer, and then I got like another phone blocking the bottom. It takes a little bit of effort. Otherwise, if I just fold it up and just use it as like a table stand mode, then I don't like the angle of that. I want a high angle, so I don't know. I gotta like play around with it, put it on top of a monitor or a table somewhere high and maybe angle it down. So the idea is nice, but I feel like just using a regular slab phone, buy a $10 tripod, you can achieve better results than spending $1,800 on a phone like this. But yeah, there you have it. Just some of my initial impression. Some of the pros: you get the larger screen, you get some flexibility. If you want to play around with the camera angle, the potential for productivity. The reason why I say potential is like, even though it's a bigger screen, it's not really that much of a bigger screen. If you really want to be productive and do real work, I typically would do that on a laptop. Can I do it on the Fold on the go? I guess technically I can. The screen is a little bit larger and easier to see, more text and more space. But at the same time, I don't think it's meant to be a productivity thing. I mean, it's nice to watch YouTube, Netflix. If you're traveling, you don't want to carry around an iPad. It's nice to kind of whip it out and start watching video on a larger screen. But then you got to figure out how to mount it, whether you buy like a phone mount or something else. It does require some work. Oh man, and the one thing that I did not hit on is the crease in the middle. It is still there. It is ugly, really visible. I was hoping by the second generation they will find a way to get rid of it, not get rid of it, but at least make it not as visible. OnePlus did an awesome job with it at their first shot. Samsung, you can still see the crease there. They haven't really done that good of a job with Samsung. I can still see the crease. So the technology is not there where you can completely get rid of it, but you can hide it. You can find a way to minimize it. But Google did not do a really good job there. And when I was using this phone at Target to get a price match, I showed him my phone and a picture of an item I was trying to get a price match. He asked me what phone it is, and then immediately he looked at the crease and said, "Does that bother you at all?" And my initial reaction is just to say no. My eyes get adjusted. Even at certain angles, if I'm recording a video like this, I don't even see the crease. But if I'm using it on a normal day-to-day basis, I open it up, I see the crease. Every now and then it does bother me, so it's not the most pleasant thing. And people seeing it for the first time, you're spending close to $2,000 on this phone. You have to justify the crease. It's just like another thing to defend, which is probably why Apple haven't launched their folding phone yet. They don't want to send out an ugly product out there, but the technology is what it is at this point. But definitely still a lot of room for improvement. Alright guys, so those are just some of my initial impression. Let me know your thoughts, concern, anything you want me to cover. But overall, it's just another new year, another new phone. You get another color, you get a new chip, slight tweak in design. You're gonna get some cool AI tricks, 7 years of software updates, performance wise, a little bit better on paper than last year. Battery life has been solid. I get about 20 hours or so. It doesn't give me battery anxiety. I just top it up here and there whenever I need it. And they're gonna try to sell you AI and all these tricks that you may or may not use, but it's nice on paper. But overall, it's a fine phone. I'll test it out further, but stay tuned for more in-depth coverage. But that's pretty much all I have in terms of initial impression, even though it's a pretty long video. I appreciate the time as always. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.